Okay, hello, year 9. What is up? This is our December week 4 lesson video. So, as I said in our week 3 class, this week 4 will be a video lesson. All right, so instead of having 1 hour of video of lesson, instead I'll be doing maybe 20 or 30 minutes of video to kind of discuss all the exercise. So this video will be short, first of all, right? Because I believe most of you are in your holidays. So I don't think you have the mood to sit through 1 hour of my lesson, right? So, I mean, let's face it. So, and thankfully, we have finished our chapter 1. All right, we have finished our chapter 1. So, if you need the replay, I'm not going to repeat here, but if you need the replay, please let me know. I will send you the replay for you to watch again. It's fine. You don't have to submit anything. Just let me know. I'll personally send it to you, right? So let's just jump straight to our exercise, right? Today will be only a very simple lesson. I will just give you the answer for the exercise. All right, I will not go through a new chapter because that will be in our January lesson. Okay, provided you are still here in January. Right, anyway, so let's jump straight to our first question. So complete our word equation for photosynthesis. All right, if you still remember, photosynthesis, we need 2 raw ingredients. We need carbon dioxide and water, right? They get carbon dioxide using their leaf. They get water using their root. All right, so 2 parts are important for photosynthesis, and you will get what we need. Humans, what we need, all right? They will give us oxygen and glucose. So it's like an exchange thing. So they give us this, and we produce carbon dioxide and water. We give it back to them. So it's like an exchange. And in the middle, of course, you need chlorophyll and you need sunlight. Not necessarily sunlight, but light energy. So if you give them, like I said, if you give them artificial light, they will grow as well. So B, explain how chlorophyll helps this reaction to happen. So what does it do? It will capture sunlight. Right? It will trap sunlight, it will capture sunlight, it will utilize sunlight to convert carbon dioxide and water into oxygen and glucose. Yeah, sure, if you want, you can write something so complicated. So number 2, Carrie tested a leaf for starch. The list of steps show what she did. Right, if you remember this, how do you test? Why do you test a piece of leaf? Because when I test a piece of leaf, if there is starch, that means there is glucose. If there's glucose, that means there's photosynthesis. That means the plant has been photosynthesizing. It has been making food. Right, so what do you do first? Okay, like I said, leaf, they are dark green, so you won't see anything. And the starch, they are trapped in every plant cell. So how do you open every plant cell? So first of all, you put it in boiling water. Okay. Next, you put it in ethanol to wash away the chlorophyll. This is to break the cell wall. This is to remove the chlorophyll. And you can after this, you can straight away put iodine, but sometimes we put it in hot water first to kind of soften it and to wash away the alcohol, because alcohol doesn't smell very nice. And of course, the last one, we put iodine, and this would change from yellow. Remember, this thing is your 黄药水, your yellow medicine you put on your wound. If you cut yourself, you put this iodine on it, so it's yellow. So it will change from yellow to dark blue or blue-black. Depends on what book you're referring to. But either way, the same meaning. So if they change color, if they do change color, that means there is starch, right? So B, explain why Carrie. Okay, they're asking for it already. So what are they putting in hot water? This is to break cell walls, right? To break the cell walls. And then explain why Carrie carried out step B. This is to remove chlorophyll, right? To wash away the chlorophyll. Alcohol, they are very good in removing colors, right? So if let's say now you have some kind of ink stain on your clothes and you want to remove it quickly, hand sanitizer is your friend, right? I mean, it doesn't fully remove it, but at least it makes it lighter lah. So this is why if you have a printer at home, printer inks they are soaked in ethanol. If you open your ink, you know those refill ink, and you smell it, it kind of smells like alcohol because they are made from alcohol. Alcohol, they are very good solvent for ink. Even your pen too, even your pen, inside your pen there's alcohol. So number 3, Haytham found a plant that has leaves with some of the green areas and white areas. So this is green part. That means the green part has chlorophyll. And if they have chlorophyll, they will do photosynthesis. If they do photosynthesis, that means they have starch. Right? So if you do your iodine test here, they should show you a positive result. And if you do it here, you should get a negative result because there's nothing here. There's no chlorophyll here. So you don't get anything. Right? So he decided to test one of the leaf for starch. He made this prediction. The green part will contain starch, but the white part will not. Okay, so this is correct. What is the substance that makes leaves green? Okay, wow, this is so easy. So that will be a chlorophyll. Explain why Haytham prediction is likely to be correct. Okay, so that means they want you to explain why is the green part contains starch. Okay, because in the green parts, chlorophyll is present. So photosynthesis will be carried out. Okay, it will be carried out. So you can say starch will be present. Okay, so when there's starch, that means there's photosynthesis. As I've said it for the millionth time. So next, C. Haytham put the leaf into boiling water and left it there for 5 minutes. Explain why I did this. Okay, this is the same answer to break the cell wall, as mentioned up there. D. Next, he took the leaf out of the water and put it into some hot alcohol. Explain why I did this again. This is to remove chlorophyll. Right, and he dipped into water and spread on a white towel, shade the part that would turn blue-black. Okay, that means the exact part lah. Okay, so let me try to draw this as close as I can. Okay, something like this. Okay, yeah, this part they will turn blue-black. Okay, let me color it blue. Blue-black or blue. Okay, whatever lah, you get the point. So next, what substance caused the iodine to turn blue-black? That would be your starch. Well, isn't this easy? Right, so number 4. Wheat is an important crop, cereal crop in many parts of the world. Okay, what is wheat, by the way? You use this to make flour, right? You know Cocoa Crunch? It's made from wheat. So an experiment was carried out on a farm to find out how adding different amounts of nitrate, as you remember from what we learned, nitrate is a fertilizer. Okay, they are from ammonia, by the way, and they are invented by this guy called Fritz Haber, if you remember my story there. So affected the amount of grain that the farmer got from his wheat crop. The graph shows the result. Right, so what is this grain yield here? That means yield is how much you're getting. 成品收割回来的成品有多少? So that's your yield. So you look at the tons per hectare. So the more fertilizer I add, the more grain I get. I mean, common sense lah. The more fertilizer you put, the more crops you will get, right? Okay, it's like the more nutrient you give to a plant, the more they grow back lah. They grow for you lah. But you see, there's a limit to that. When you hit around here, you see, around 80 tons, further increasing the fertilizer doesn't really do much. Why? Because you can only add so much lah. You can only add so much lah. You see, when you study for 3 hours, you get 50 marks. You study for 6 hours, maybe you can get 90. But if you study for 9, it doesn't necessarily give you 100. Maybe if you study 20, 30, 40 hours, you are not necessarily going to get 100 because there's a limit there. Same goes to here. Same goes to here. So 80 is like the limiting already. Anything above 80, you're just wasting your money on fertilizer. If you get what I mean, right? You're just increasing your fertilizer, but you're not increasing the yield, you see? So it's just not worth it beyond 80. So 80 is like the best that you should use. right? According to this graph lah. So what yield of grain did the farmer get if he did not add any fertilizer? Okay, if there's 0 fertilizer, you only get 4 tons, right? For 4 tons, sorry, forgot the unit here, 4 tons per hectare. Hectare is the area for land. This is used by, old people. They use hectare, they use acre, they use square feet. We just don't use that. We just use meter square, right? But this is for them lah. So this is your hectare. And then B, how much fertilizer should the farmer add to the field and get a 50% increase, right? So to go from 4 and you increase by 50%, that will be 6, right? This is basic maths, guys. So 6, right? You should add roughly around 40 kg per hectare, right? Do take note of a unit. Don't just write 40 there. So the farmer decided that there was no need to add more than about 60, right? So for him, 60 is the max that you should add, because yeah lah, I mean 60 or 80, you still get a little bit more increase here, but it's not worth it, right? Maybe, I mean, fertilizer is not cheap. So explain the result, how the results support this decision. Okay, so you should draw a line here. You should draw a line here and then explain. So why should he not go beyond 60? Because you can say from 60 to 80 kg, a crop yield only increase by a small amount. Okay, and then you can say beyond 80 kg, crop yield is minimal, right? You don't get any huge gains anymore, right? Guys, this graph, it applies for real life as well. This is what we call the law of diminishing returns, right? I mean, this is a little bit out of syllabus, but I think you should know this law of diminishing return. It goes for everything. It goes for everything. Okay, let's say you're learning piano. I'm sure some of you here learn music. You spend 1 year, the first year of your learning piano. If you're talented, you can go to grade 3, right? The second year or third year, maybe you can jump to grade 6. Okay, and then third, fourth, fifth year, maybe grade 8. And then as you progress further, your increase just kind of slows down, right? Okay, maybe this is the first year, this is the second year, third year, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth year, you're like that. All right, so as you're approaching diploma or whatever, it just doesn't feel that rewarding anymore. There's no crazy gains like this anymore, right? It goes for everything. Learning piano, even going to the gym, right? The first year of you going to the gym, you gain huge amount of muscles, right? You look amazing in the mirror. You are improving every day. But as you are in the gym for 5 years, you just kind of see yourself slow down and you're like, this sucks, right? You work so hard for 1 year, 1 freaking year, maybe you see like just a small tiny bit of change and like, okay, hey, I improve a little bit. You just can't keep improving, okay? Because if you keep going so like that, then you're just gonna be so powerful. Okay, makes no sense, isn't it? Right? So this is what we call law of diminishing return. It goes for everything. Okay, whatever you're learning, this is what we call law of diminishing returns. Right, so D, explain why the yield of grain increase when nitrate containing fertilizer is added. All right, because plants require nitrate. Okay, as you can see, if you forgot lah, okay, let me go back a little bit. There, they need nitrate. So the one you can use say this to make protein. Questions like this usually carry 2 marks. Okay, this is to make protein. All right, so E suggests why the result of this experiment might be different if it's repeated in a different place. Right, so if I do this in a different place, I don't get this graph anymore. Maybe I'll get a lower graph or a higher graph. Why? Because I have other factors affecting it. Maybe other places there's not as much water, or maybe the climate is not as warm, or it's warmer. Anything, all right? Because now it is affected by other different factors. So now things are very different, right? Just because you can do it, you can get this graph this place, doesn't mean you can repeat the same result somewhere else. Okay, I hope you know what I mean. So next, label A and B. A, if you remember, is the stigma. And B, this is the style. Yeah, just label everything. C is the petal. This is to attract insects. If your flower is insect pollinated. D is your ovule. Do not get mistaken. The outside here, which is F, is the ovary. And E is the sepal. What is the sepal? Sepal is this thing protecting your flower. Don't pay attention to this lah, I would say. Petal you know lah. Okay, petal you know. A style you can also don't care. And the other parts, you have your anther here. Okay, and you have your filament here. And these parts, they are called your stamen, the male part. And these parts, they are called your pistil or carpel. That means the female part. So B, give the letter of the part that attracts insect to the flower. So who like I said, who attracts insect? That would be your C, that's your petal. And then C, explain why is it useful to the plant to attract insects to its flower. Well, this is to help pollinate the plant. Okay, helps with pollination, helps with the sex. Pollination is the sex of flowers. They can't walk to have sex with other plants, so they use bees and pollinating agents to help them. So D, give the letter of the part that will develop into a seed. Like I say, the outside is the fruit, the inside is the seed. So ovary is the fruit, ovule is the seed. So ovule is your D. Okay, so number 5. Okay, I'll just give you the answer straight here. Flowers are organs that are involved in sexual reproduction. Like I said, flowers, they are your penises and vaginas. So B, the male part are the oh shit, it's not mentioned here. Anthers, okay. There's no stamen here, but the pollen grains are produced. The pollen grains contains the male gametes. Okay, just like our sperm. The stigma style ovary are the female part. Each ovary contains at least one ovule, at least one seed. Okay. Ovule is not just one. Some plants that make a few. That's why maybe in an apple we have 5 seeds because there are 5 ovules, right? Which contains the male, female gamete. So pollination is the transfer of pollen grain from. Then we're gonna repeat words here from the anthers to the stigma. I actually don't need to cross the words, isn't it? Because it could be once or more than once or not at all. So often done by insects which are attracted to the flower by its brightly colored petals or by its scent. Right, they smell nice. So the flower often produces a sugary fluid, is called your nectar, which becomes your honey, which insects like to eat. As the insects push into the flower to get this sweet fluid, they accidentally picked up pollen grains from the anther. Wow, so many anthers here. When they visit another flower, they may rub some of the pollen grains onto the stigma. So E, after pollination, a tube grows out of the pollen grain. The tube grows down through the style to the ovule. The male gametes travel down the tube. When the male gamete, oh, they give answer here already, fuses with a female gamete inside an ovule, a zygote is produced. Like I said, it's just like our baby. The zygote eventually becomes an embryo. The ovule becomes a seed. Wow, it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Okay, these are keywords, guys. You should know them by now. Okay, next. Wow, crossword puzzle. Right, I'll give you the answer here as well. So let's do the across first. Number 1, to spread out fruits help seeds to do this. This is called disperse. Okay, disperse is to spread the seed away. 4, a structure containing embryo forms an ovule after fertilization. So that would be your structure containing embryo plant. Oh, that would be the seed. Right, so 8, the part of the flower that's often brightly colored. Well, this is your petals, petal. 9, the cell that is formed when a male gamete fused together. This is your zygote. And then 12, a mineral salt that plant needs to make protein. Okay, like I said just now, this is your nitrate. Wow, this is actually fun. So, the fusion of male and female, that's what we call fertilization. Okay, long word. Fertilization. So 16, a structure found inside the ovary, which contains the female gamete, that will be an ovule. Right, so number 2, transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma. This is called pollination. Pollination. Number 3, a type of insoluble carbohydrate stored in leaves and other parts. Okay, so what do they store? They store starch. What is this again? Number 3. Number 3 is a starch. STARCH. So number 5, a very young organism, for example, a developing plant, while it is inside the seed. While it is inside the seed, so that's called your embryo, I guess. Yep, embryo. And then number 6, powdery grain that contains the male gamete, that would be your pollen. So number 7, substance containing mineral salt that's added to the soil, so that would be your fertilizer. Fertilizer. Oops, this is an R. 11, a sweet, sorry, number 10, right? All right, number 10. A mineral salt used by plant to make chlorophyll. That would be a nitrate, I guess. Oh, nitrate or wait, this is number 10. Make chlorophyll. I think this is potassium. Is it potassium? Since we have nitrate and oh, magnesium, right? Now I remember. Sorry, brain fart. Yes, magnesium. Okay, 11, sweet sugar fluid. That's your nectar. 13, male part is your anther. 14, receive pollen grain. That would be your stigma. Uh, receive pollen grain. Hey, that's 14, yeah, right. So 15 is structure containing seed. So that's your fruit. Wow, this is actually quite fun. It's been a while since I did crossword puzzle. Right, so number 7, apples cut in half. So name the part of the flower which the fruit develops. That would be your ovary. Okay, you see this used to be the ovary and this used to be the ovule. So why this is why they turn into a fruit and this turns into a seed. Right, makes perfect sense. So B, suggest how this fruit helps the seed to disperse. Actually, answer, they have sweet and fragrant fruit. Okay, this is to attract animals. Okay, they attract us to eat the apple and spread it somewhere so that you grow another apple tree somewhere. So C, explain why is it important for seeds to be dispersed. Okay, so that they grow away from parent plant to reduce competition. Right? So if all apples were to grow at the same spot, they will all die because of lack of starvation, of lack of nutrient. You will compete with your own parents for food. That's a shitty thing to happen. Right, so anyway, I believe that's it for our chapter 1. Okay, so as I said, a very simple lesson. My lesson here, okay, I'm not asking you to learn anything. I just want you to copy down the answer, and hopefully, because I won't be repeating this when the school year starts, I will only be repeating this maybe before your exam next time. Okay, so guys, do take care of yourself. Okay, have a happy holiday. I hope I will see you in January. Okay, we should be real soon. Okay, so that's all for me from me today. Yeah, I will see you again. So take care. See you and bye bye.